So, listening to the fans, accepting criticism, and not attacking the fans actually helps your movie. Who'da thunk it? I went to see Sonic the Hedgehog over the weekend, starring Jim Carrey, James Marsden, and Nick Swartz as the voice of Sonic. Now, if those of you had seen my initial video for the first trailer, I was hard on it. I thought it looked horrible. A lot of that had to do with Sonic's design and the choice of music in the trailer, which gave it a weird tone. Well, they announced they were going to change the design, which put the film on my radar. And I was like, I gotta see this now because they listened to the fans. And it wasn't just good, it was really good. I had fun with this movie. There was one joke that really didn't land for me, but the rest were at least either funny enough to get a chuckle out of me or the kind of funny where you just, yeah, that's funny, but you don't laugh about it. So it worked. I was apprehensive about Jim Carrey as Dr. Robotnik because I'm not a Jim Carrey fan. His comedy style, he's just goes too over the top and stays too over the top. Where you get that with Robotnik, but it's like he knew when, okay, I need to dial this back a little bit, and Robotnik is every bit as egotistical and narcissistic as you would expect. James Marsden did a really good job playing the small town sheriff of Green Hills. Nice touch there. And Ben Schwartz, he nailed the personality of Sonic. I had a lot of fun with this movie. And there's even a good reason for Sonic. This is a mostly spoiler-free review, so I'm not going to say why. But there's actually a good reason for Sonic to be in our world. And unlike a lot of movies of this nature where the title character isn't the star of the film, Sonic is actually the star of this film, which is a nice touch. His personality is very high energy, which is what you would expect for Sonic. And compose that with James Marsden's character playing the straight guy in the comedy, so to speak, where he's the normal guy and this is all insane to him. Sonic came to Earth to hide, which is all I'm going to say, and he spends years watching these people, and he comes up with, like, names for different people, like James Marsden's character is the Donut Lord. His wife, because she does yoga, is Pretzel Lady. There's even this one guy who's seen Sonic, and he's like the town crazy, and he's referring to Sonic as the Blue Devil, and we see a funny scene of Sonic messing with him. Until one day Sonic gets lonely, and he causes something to happen, and that's what alerts the authorities something's up, and they send in Dr. Robotnik, and paths just sort of clash, and we have some nice road trip moments that, again, there are points where there's a lot of heart in this movie. I'm going to explain one when I finish the review. I'll even rate it and everything, and then I'll get into a couple spoilers, actually, but it worked. The special effects were pretty good, and there was even one of the Quicksilver-style scenes from the later X-Men, which, I'll be real, the first one in Days of Future Past I thought was really good. The one in Apocalypse, I thought it was just a cheap ripoff of the Days from Future Past. For me, it just didn't recapture the same magic. I haven't seen Dark Phoenix yet, don't want to, so I can't speak for that scene. But this scene here was actually even better than the Days of Future Past one. And that's another thing. This movie, it has a very 90s movie feel to it. Like, I felt, even though it was obviously set in modern day, I still felt like, to a degree, I was watching a movie made in the 90s, which for Sonic works. I mean, even when he's watching in as they're watching TV in an earlier scene, they're watching Speed. So again, I do feel like they went with a 90s feel to it, even though it wasn't set in the 90s, if that makes sense. Like I said, it feels like a 90s movie. And I do like other touches, like Robotnik's drones. They all look like eggs initially, which is a nice touch. Jim Carrey, like I said, he nailed Robotnik. One thing I do wish they did different is, and this is a huge missed opportunity, I don't know if they could get the rights to use the song or not, but there's a point in San Francisco where Sonic starts running from Robotnik, and that would have been a perfect opportunity to play City Escape. This is definitely first and foremost a kid's movie, but if you're a Sonic fan, there's a lot to enjoy here. There's a lot of Easter eggs, and you're going to be noticing a lot of nods or callbacks, so go see it. And I do want to address one scene that a lot of people criticized, but I thought was funny. James Marsden's character, he's on a stretch of road, and he sees a turtle, so he pulls out the radar gun and radar tests the turtle. He's like, whoa, where's the fire? People have criticized that scene for stupid. I think it's relatable because I can honestly say, if I was an officer and I was spending hours on that one stretch of road, yeah, I'd probably do that myself. I've had points on a job I had in the past where I literally had to sit there all day and watch cement dry. You'd be surprised what stupid things become fun when you're basically waiting for hours for nothing to happen. So, yeah, I found that scene very relatable. The movie, I'm going to give a strong B+, maybe, what's it going to hurt? A-. Very good, very enjoyable, and just also a good movie for the family. That being said, I'm going to get into some spoilers because I want to kind of go over what I meant by this movie having heart and give a good example. James Marsden's character is wanting to do more with his life, so he's trying to transfer to San Francisco. And Sonic finds out about it, and they have a little bit of an argument about it, and Sonic points out, but this one calls you for that, and that one calls you for that, and they're all menial tasks, and James Marsden, he even points that out. He's like, but anyone can do that for him, and Sonic's like, yeah, anyone can do that for them, but they call you. And I thought that was a nice touch. It was like, these people trust and depend on you. For you to take this job, you're kind of abandoning them. He points out that it's actually selfish in this case. And there's a whole thing with Sonic having a bucket list because he has to leave Earth. And when they're in a hotel, James Marsden checks the list, and the only thing left on it is make a friend. It had a lot of nice touches, and at the end, they even remodel their attic into a room for Sonic. So it's a nice movie. There's some good heartwarming moments in this, good humor. It's solidly acted throughout. There's not a bad performance in Sonic the Hedgehog. Who would have thought it? This is probably gonna go down as one of the best video game movies ever made, if you can believe that. So, definitely check Sonic out, if nothing else, because they listened to the fans support this movie. And there are 2 post-end credits scenes, and since we are on spoiler talk, Tails does actually show up at the end. So here's hoping Knuckles and the rest of the gang get to join us. So don't forget to like, share, comment, subscribe, over and out.